Welcome back to NT Coins World, your #1 source for coin collecting history and values. If you love rare and valuable coins, you've come to the right place. Today, we're diving into some of the top 2 Lincoln pennies that every collector should know about. These coins are not only significant in American history, but also hold substantial value in the numismatic world. 2 of the most notable Lincoln pennies is the 1970 D Lincoln penny and 1972 Lincoln penny, which has gained attention due to its unique characteristics, errors, and overall collectability. In this video, we'll explore the historical background, design, mintage, market value, and the key errors that make this coin a treasure in the world of coin collecting. So, let's jump right in. The year 1970 was a significant period in US history. It was a time of political and social change, marked by the Vietnam War, civil rights movements, and advancements in technology. While these major events shaped the country, the US Mint continued its tradition of producing high-quality coins for circulation. The Lincoln cent had already been in circulation for over 60 years by 1970. First introduced in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth, the penny had become an essential part of American coinage. The design, created by Victor David Brenner, remained a classic, featuring Lincoln's portrait on the obverse and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse, which had been introduced in 1959 to replace the original wheat ears design. During this time, the Denver Mint struck millions of pennies. But what makes the 1970 D Lincoln cent special? Let's take a closer look. The 1970 D Lincoln cent follows the standard design of Lincoln pennies from this era, obverse front. The obverse features a right-facing portrait of Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner in 1909. The inscriptions include "In God We Trust" above Lincoln's head, "Liberty" to the left, and the date 1970 on the right. The D mint mark just below the date signifies that this coin was minted at the Denver Mint reverse. Back the reverse design, introduced in 1959, features the Lincoln Memorial, designed by Frank Gasparo. The top of the coin reads "United States of America," while the bottom has 1 cent. The Latin phrase "E pluribus unum" is inscribed above the memorial. If you look closely at the memorial, you can see the tiny statue of Lincoln inside, an incredible detail added by Gasparo. The 1970 D Lincoln penny was produced in massive quantities at the Denver Mint. According to official records, over 2.9 billion, yes, billion, of these pennies were struck. While this might suggest that the coin is common, some variations and errors make certain pieces significantly more valuable than others. The 1970 D Lincoln cent is particularly known for its sought-after small-date variety, which we'll discuss shortly. Since billions of these coins were minted, the standard 1970 D Lincoln penny in circulated condition is only worth face value, 1 cent. However, collectors look for high-grade coins, MS65 or higher, red-colored cents as opposed to brown or red-brown. Here's a quick look at the approximate values. Circulated condition, typically worth 1 to 3 cents. Uncirculated MS60 to MS64 ranges from $5 to $20. MS65 to MS67. Red grade can fetch between $50 and $100, $1,000. Rare varieties and errors, some have sold for thousands of dollars. One of the main reasons the 1970 D Lincoln penny is popular among collectors is due to its errors and varieties. Here are the most notable ones. One of the most famous varieties for this year is the small date and large date versions. The 7 in 1970 appears level with the 0, making it look smaller. The word Liberty appears weakly struck or slightly blurry. This variety is much rarer than the large date. The 7 in 1970 appears slightly higher than the 0, more common and less valuable than the small date. Collectors prefer the small date variety, and in high grades, it can be worth hundreds to thousands of dollars. Doubled die obverse. DDOA, double die obverse DDO error, means that during the minting process, the design was imprinted twice onto the die, causing a noticeable doubling effect on some letters or numbers. Look for doubling on Liberty and the date 1970. Some of these have been sold for $1,000 or more in high grades. An off-center strike occurs when the coin is not properly aligned in the press, causing part of the design to be missing. The value depends on how off-center the strike is. 10% off-center, not very valuable, but still collectible. 40 to 60% off-center with a visible date can be worth $50 to $200. More than 60% off with a readable date and mint mark can fetch hundreds of dollars. A clipped planchet error happens when part of the coin's blank is accidentally cut off before striking. The result is a missing portion of the coin, which can range from minor clips to major missing sections. These errors typically sell for $20 to $100 depending on size and shape. So, should you be on the lookout for a 1970D Lincoln penny? Absolutely. While most of these coins are common and not worth much, the key varieties and errors make them exciting for collectors. If you find a small date variety, a double die error, or a high-grade red example, you could have a valuable coin in your hands. For investors, Lincoln cents, especially rare varieties, continue to gain value over time. Coins like the 1970D small date are in high demand, making them a great addition to any collection. The year 1972 was an important time in American history. The Vietnam War was still ongoing, NASA's Apollo program was making significant strides, and the Watergate scandal was just beginning to unfold. Meanwhile, the US Mint continued producing Lincoln cents, which had been in circulation for over 6 decades by that time. The Lincoln cent, first introduced in 1909, was designed to honor the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln. Over the years, the penny had undergone some changes, including a reverse design update in 1959, replacing the original wheat ears with the Lincoln Memorial, while the 1972 Lincoln penny followed the same standard design as previous years. It became famous due to one of the most significant double die errors in US coin history. The 1972 Lincoln cent maintains the classic design introduced in 1909 and later modified in 1959. The obverse features a right-facing portrait of Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner. The inscriptions include "In God We Trust" above Lincoln's head, "Liberty" to the left, and the date 1972 on the right. No mint mark is present for pennies struck in Philadelphia, 1972 P, while coins from Denver, D, and San Francisco, S, have their respective mint marks below the date. The reverse design, introduced in 1959, features the Lincoln Memorial, designed by Frank Gasparo. The top of the coin reads United States of America, while the bottom has 1 cent. The Latin phrase E pluribus unum is inscribed above the memorial. A small statue of Lincoln is visible inside the memorial, adding a unique touch to the design. The 1972 Lincoln penny was minted in 3 locations: Philadelphia Mint, no mint mark, 2,933,250,000 minted; Denver Mint, D mint mark, 2,665,071,400 minted; San Francisco Mint, S mint mark. Proof coins, 3,260,996 minted. With over 5.5 billion coins produced, the 1972 Lincoln penny is generally common. However, certain errors and varieties make some of them highly valuable. Because of the high mintage, most 1972 Lincoln pennies are only worth their face value 1 cent if they're in circulated condition. However, collectors seek out high-grade examples and error varieties, which can be worth significantly more. Here's a general value breakdown: circulated condition 1 to 5 cents, uncirculated MS-60 to MS-64, $1 to $5, MS-65 to MS-67, red grade $50 to $500, 500 plus $0.1972 doubled die obverse. DDO 100 to 15,000 depending on condition. Let's take a closer look at the most valuable error types. This is the most famous error of the 1972 Lincoln penny and one of the most dramatic doubled dies in US coin history. This error occurred when the coin die was impressed twice at slightly different angles, causing noticeable doubling on certain elements of the design. Look for strong doubling on the words "Liberty," "In God We Trust," and the date 1972. There are 9 known DDO varieties, but variety 1 is the most significant and valuable. Some high-grade examples have sold for over $10,000. Approximate values for the 1972 DDO variety 11. Circulated condition $100 to $300. MS60 to MS64 $500 to $2,000. MS65 to MS67 red grade $5,000 to $15,000 plus other doubled die varieties 2 to 9. While variety 1 is the most valuable, there are 8 additional double die varieties. These have less dramatic doubling but are still sought after by collectors. Values for these lesser varieties range from $20 to $500 depending on condition. An off-center strike occurs when the coin is struck improperly, causing part of the design to be missing. 5 to 10% off-center. Not very valuable, but still collectible. 40 to 60% off-center with a visible date can be worth $50 to $200 plus more than 60% off, with a readable date and mint mark can fetch hundreds of dollars. A clipped planche error happens when a portion of the blank coin is cut off before being struck. These errors can sell for $20 to $100 depending on the severity. Die cracks appear as raised lines on the coin's surface due to a cracked minting die. Cuds are larger, raised areas on the rim where part of the die broke off. Values range from $10 to $200 depending on the size and location of the error. The 1972 Lincoln penny is one of the most exciting coins to collect due to its famous doubled die obverse DDO error. Even if you find a regular 1972 penny in your change, it's always worth checking for these unique varieties. For investors, high-grade red examples and DDO varieties are excellent additions to any collection. The demand for major error coins continues to rise, making these pennies a great long-term investment. That wraps up our deep dive into the 1970D Lincoln penny and 1972 Lincoln penny. With its fascinating history, iconic design, and valuable error varieties, it's a coin that every collector should know about. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more coin collecting insights. Let us know in the comments if you've ever found 1970D and 1972 doubled die penny, or if you have any other valuable coins in your collection. Thanks for watching NT Coins World. Happy collecting, and we'll see you in the next video.